Hi everyone, welcome to Courage and Chaos. I'm Felicia.
I'm Tracy. Yes.
I had a fantastic Mother's Day.
Yes.
So I have a funny story. So we went, me and my youngest, because she was finally feeling better. Yes, she was sick again, but she wasn't sick again. She's been sick for 2 weeks, so she finally was better. So on Mother's Day, I was like, well, I want GG Cupcakes. Let's go to GG Cupcakes. So we went to GG's, and I add points. I'm on the reward system.
That won't help your cortisol.
Nope, it doesn't. But now we know. I have to waste all my points first. I'm just kidding. So anyway,
Don't ask me about my caribou points. Just
right,
saying.
yeah, that sounds like my supervisor. They know him by name.
Oh boy.
So we go to GG Cupcakes, whatever. I get 4, and
For $40.
no, I was like, I knew I had some points, so I was like, I'll get one of these for free.
Yeah.
You know, that's for sure. I knew I'd have one for free. So I was like, well, how do I get to look at my points to see what I can get for my rewards, whatever? And she's like, just type in your number. So I typed in my number, and I'm like, oh, wow. I had like 400 and some points. And then she's like, I'm like, I can get this whole box for free. I'm like, sold. I'm like, she's like, I have never seen anyone have that many points. I'm like, girl,
I have a problem.
Well, I've been saving it for a few years.
I can probably get.
You can keep them for years.
I can probably get 15 free drinks at Caribou right now.
Oh my god!
Right? Yeah, like that many points, Dad. So I didn't even know that. I just looked the other day because I always order online and I never use any of the points online. I finally went in the store, and every time I go in there, they're like free drink, and I'm like, I've already gotten like 5 or 6 free drinks.
Yeah, how many more do I have left, right?
It's like 15 if I do the math or something like that. So I was like, oof.
So I'm guessing that Caribou has a better reward system than Starbucks.
100%.
Because I was on Starbucks and I got nowhere.
Mm-hmm. No,
So
I have a little bit of a problem.
I dropped it.
You know, but with my cortisol issue, I'm trying not to, because you can have coffee, but not with sugar. And you can't have it like before food. So like if you're gonna have it in the morning, you can't have it until you've eaten something. And then it has to be just plain coffee, which who wants that? No, I'm just kidding. Some people, but not me. And you don't want it later in the day. So like after like a certain time of the day, you're not supposed to have it either because all of that caffeine and stuff spikes it. So I've just been trying not to have any caffeine at all. So, which has been really hard. But
I've been cutting down.
You can get decaf, but there's still a little bit of caffeine in there. So, if I feel the urge to, whatever, because you get the caffeine and the sugar, and that it's a double whammy.
I get caffeine headaches. So I have to have some until I can get that done.
Oh, I finally it is what it is. Like I went cold turkey once, and then when you start back, you're like, why am I not sleeping? Because I used to drink it all the time. Like I could drink it at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night and still go to bed. My husband's like, how do you do that? I'm like, apparently I have a really high tolerance. Yeah. But I also lived off of Mountain Dew back in the day, which is really bad. So just don't drink that stuff anymore. Once in a while I'll drink it, I'll be like, why does this taste like dish soap? Yeah, it does. It literally tastes like dish soap. I'm like,
I've never been into Mountain Dew, but I have Diet Coke.
Oof, that's worse.
Either way,
the diets are so much worse.
That's bad.
So
pop is pop.
It's all bad for you.
Yeah. And then we had takeout for Applebee's, and I got flowers and a mug.
Well, my younger son was in Madison, Wisconsin on his way home yesterday, so it was like almost 10 or 10:30 when he got home. But my older son remembered. I know he didn't remember, but something. He goes, I remembered on Thursday. And then he goes, I just heard it on the radio, and I was like, crap. So he calls me in the morning, because I called him the day before. You need to come over and go through this closet with all your clothes that are still sitting in here, you know, because I'm like, some of them still have tags on. They're still really nice shirts. And I'm like, I don't really want to get rid of them if you're still going to maybe possibly wear them. So, you know, I know you said you went through it, but I know what your version of going through something is click, click, click. Oh, I'm good. And I'm like, I physically took out every shirt. You gonna wear it? No. You gonna wear it? No.
or they like just are laying on the bed catching up on their phone.
Yeah, I'm just like, nope. You know, I'm like, if you're not gonna wear it, don't tell me you're gonna wear it. I said, I'll just try to sell it. I go, because this is like $100 shirt or something that he got for something. Yeah. And like the one I told you to take back and exchange if you didn't want it. So that way it wasn't sitting in my closet. You know,
which
like,
it is sitting
I don't like that one. That was the one that we had to buy for the funeral because we were in the car and we just had to buy whatever was there. And I'm like, I know, but can't you still wear it? And he's like, no. And I'm like,
you're like, okay.
You know, but whatever. So he came over and did that. Funny. And then we went out to one of the Mexican places in town here.
Which one did you go to?
Plaza Azteca.
Oh, yep. I went there one time with my other friend.
Yeah.
It was good.
I don't know why people drink there because I don't know why people drink out in restaurants at all. It's so freaking expensive.
Oh my god! Even a pop is $4.
It's ridiculous.
And Plaza Azteca charges you for guacamole.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is really good though.
Yeah.
But they
it's $11.99 though. It's not that.
So we all decided we were going to try one of the margaritas. Right? They're $14.
Oh wow! You went to Vegas straight.
I was like,
I watched a special on the Vegas last night.
I was like, that was $45 right there, and I was like, I hope they're good. And the one was like, my husband was like, nah, mine's not, and I was like, that's why I didn't order that one because that one. I mean, it sounded like maybe it would be kind of. I'm like, no.
What flavor?
There was a strawberry splash. I got a raspberry splash, a black raspberry. My son got the tropical. The tropical was the best, and I typically don't like tropical
stuff,
but
sweet.
it was actually really good. The other one was not good because I had a regular margarita there like 2 years ago, and it was so burnt. I'm like, even my husband was like, oof. I'm like, it's like burning on the way down, you know? Yeah. You're like, I cannot.
You're like, wow.
Like, I don't know if it was the type of alcohol in there that I just didn't like or whatever it was, but it was bad. But we had the worst service there yesterday. We've never had a bad experience there ever. Never.
Were they late with your food or what?
We sat there and we ordered those margaritas. And it was probably 30 minutes before they got to the table.
Wow. Was it busy?
Yeah, because it was Mother's Day.
Yeah.
But he didn't take our order until all of the drinks were on the table. So we didn't even order. And then we sat. There were 6 different tables that were seated, 8 and left before we got our food. So it had to have been the server.
Ooh, yeah, it was.
And I was just
that
like,
annoys.
And
nothing annoys me more than that.
My son was sitting there with no water. You know, he's like puts it way on the end of the table, you know, hoping that the guy's gonna notice because you know he drank the whole margarita already. No water. We went through 2 things of chips because we were starving by the time we got there. So then our food came and we're all like, I can't eat anymore because we just ate everything else.
A full margarita and chips with guacamole.
Like, it was like this stupid thing, and we sat there for like. It was 2 hours before we got home.
That's a lot.
Which normally you're in and out. Like their food, like you order the food, you barely get 2 chips eaten, and the food's on the table.
That's what happened to me last time. It was pretty fast.
So I was like, "What is happening right now?" And you're just watching everybody get all their stuff and come and go, and I'm like, "What is happening right now?"
You're like, I need a discount.
And I don't know what my husband tipped him because I didn't want to dig out my glasses.
I'd be like 0 tip.
I don't think I'd ever do 0. I mean, you'd have to do some pretty bad stuff because I mean, you know, whatever. But I probably wouldn't have. I'm one of those where you have to earn your tip. You're gonna get, you know, probably a minimum one unless it's terrible.
What's a minimum?
But I can be a generous tipper too if you're really good.
Yeah.
But it was like,
well,
he dropped the food off and he checked on us one time until he came back and we asked for the bill, and that was. We had sat there for an hour.
I would have walked up there and gave him my ticket.
We almost did. We were my son was. We had a booth, so my son had leaned his back against the wall and put his legs up on the booth because he was just like, and I was like this, you know, like trying to make it obvious that I'm like, I go, should I just put my head down and pretend I'm sleeping, and maybe they'll be like, what's wrong? And I'm like, we need our bill because I've been sitting here for so long.
That's funny.
But normally they're really good, so I was kind of disappointed in that, but. A full-fledged car build mode right now.
I saw that for pictures.
Oh my gosh.
So is that event, that's in August or June?
Well, there's one in the end of May. So we're like 3 weeks out.
So you're trying to do the one in May?
Yes, we always try to do the one in May. And then there's another one in...
Was it July?
The end of July, in the first 2 days of August.
Yeah, I remember that.
So my husband's doing a rebuild, like putting a whole new turbo system in and everything, right? Been one thing after another, trying to get things done. My son had some issue. His car was ready to go, but he had some things that we needed to fix or whatever, you know, tune or whatever. So they're doing this, whatever it is they were doing, I can't remember. And he had to drill a hole. And he was just like in this mode, and he punctured his gas tank on the top of the gas tank. You know,
shoot.
And you got to realize it's 20-some-year-old car, right? Like you could put collector plates on it. And it's like, because it's not just easy to source parts for these cars, right? It's like you have to know people. We do know a lot of people, like we networked a lot of people, and I really am very thankful for these people because they have done a lot to help my kid and my husband get this done. You know, like they all work together. One of the local car places here. So my husband felt bad because the reason they had to drill it out was my husband put a rivet in backwards. So my son was trying to drill it out.
Yep, I've done that.
And they were getting, he's getting excited and just doing it, whatever, and not realizing that he punctured the gas tank underneath. So
he's lucky he didn't blow up.
Well, I mean,
or catch fire.
It's E85. So my husband was feeling terrible, and I felt bad because his car was ready to go, other than just these little tweaks that we had to do, fix this little thing or
and
whatever.
Now it's all...
And now it was like he wouldn't be able to go race at all. So now we went from one car to no cars being ready to go, not knowing if my husband's going to be able to get his stuff done, because there's some things I have to do, and the timelines were like, we're like making deals with people and being like, we'll drive, we've taken 2 trips down to Minneapolis and back trying to get, parts and whatever, talking to people and be like, I'll pay you to do this, or I'll pay you to take it out, or I'll pay you to whatever, and overnight it. Like my husband got this tiny little bracket like this, $110 because he had to do overnight shipping. Well, then it didn't even come overnight. And now it doesn't even fit. So he messaged the company or the guy that did it, and he's like, these don't fit. And he goes, I paid for overnight shipping. It took him 5 days. So they refunded some of the money or whatever, because he's like, this is super stupid right now.
Yeah.
So now they're trying to put these turbos in.
Did the gas tank get fixed too?
So, story there. So we know these people. We call it the B5 group because that's what it's, a B5 S4 Audi. And there's a network of people that get these cars, restore, fix them up and then turn around and resell them.
Right.
And you network with these people, and they have parts, they don't just do it with anybody. Like you kind of have to get a rapport, you help them out, they help you out, and you all become friends and that kind of stuff, and I'm really thankful for those people because they don't have to do what they're doing sometimes. They stop what they're doing to help you out.
Right.
Even if it takes them time to do it, it'd be like, I'll give you money. You just tell me how much it's going to cost me to do this. I don't expect you to do it for free, and I don't expect you to give me the parts. Just tell me what you want for them, because that's their business. That's what they do,
Exactly.
So I've been very thankful that those people are very willing to help, because that's the fastest way to get any of these parts, and you can just be like, we're going to drive down there and drive back. And it's, 3.5 hours every way. It's like we've done it twice now.
And your big cookie.
I didn't eat this. My husband's cookie,
that
actually.
Thing was huge.
The big Bismarck or whatever it was. Yeah, it was terrible. Anyway, so we sourced a gas tank because my son was like, I'm just not going to go to Power Cruise, or whatever. And I was feeling like there was one of those weepy days, and I was like, my husband, you gotta fix this. I'm like, he was just telling me how excited he was. He was counting the days down. He was like, I can hardly wait. And here he is. He's just pissed off when he leaves in the morning. He's like, you're going to have to work on your car yourself, because my son's the brains behind it. My husband is not the brains behind it. Like, he tries, but he does not have the patience, and he knows it. Yeah. So I go, I don't care what you got to do, who you got to kill, who you got to talk to, what you got to pay, what it's going to cost me. You find him a gas tank.
Right.
I go, you call up Drake, or you text Drake, or you do whatever, and you ask him for a gas tank. Or how do we fix this? Like, how do we fix it? Because
do you weld a patch?
There is a patch, but
like
the thing is,
drain it and clean it. The thing
is, for me, you can patch it, but the patch doesn't always last, and some of them aren't good with E85 fuel because of the makeup of the fuel. Like, it just doesn't last. And I'm like, I want his car to be the way it was before it got damaged that way, because it wasn't. I mean, yeah, he had the drill, but I go, he was drilling it because you made the mistake in the first place. Yeah. So I go, it's like this whole thing. And I go, he bought this car on his own. He put it together on his own, watching YouTube, like all of these things. And I'm like, it just broke my heart that day. And it was like, I don't care what we got to do to fix this car. So I'm like, I don't care what we got to pay him, whatever, because it's the hole is on the top, and you have to literally drop the back parts of the car out. Like you have to take the
Mhm.
back end of that car off to get that gas tank out.
Gas
So
tanks are a
like,
pain in the butt.
so the local place here, Red River Motorworks, which I love those guys. Scott is awesome. I love all of them. Martin and
Mhm.
Jeff and all those guys.
Yeah, they've worked on
They're
our car.
super, super cool people.
Mhm.
They've mentored my son. They let him work there for a summer on an internship
Yeah.
and, you know, whatever, like taught him everything. And he kind of became a shop rat in high
Yeah.
school by asking him all those questions.
Yeah.
And, you know, and I mean,
That's how you learn, though.
they're very, very, very kind people, very giving people. And I love every single one of them. And we called them up and we said, if we can source a gas tank, will you put it in?
Mhm.
Because it's a 6-hour job at a shop.
Yep.
And
It takes a
we
long
don't
time.
have a lift, right?
No.
So it would have been on jack stands,
Mhm.
which would not be the easiest thing to do.
Yeah.
So like the guy we got the gas tank from, like they had to take it off and they're like, this would suck to do on jack stands because it's like the weirdest
Right.
shaped thing and whatever. It's
Mhm.
just not easy to do. And, you know, I knew that the shop probably didn't want to do it, you know, but they know like how hard we're working to get this my husband's car done, and now this happened with my son's car,
Right.
and I'm just like, whatever. I'm like, I don't care what I have to pay them. I mean, I do, but what's it gonna cost me to get this done?
Right.
You know, it's 6 hours at $150 an hour, right? So it's
Mhm.
like it's gonna cost me like, and that's just putting it in. Like it's
Not even the
it's
tank
super
yet.
rusting under there, and I'm like, first my kid was like, oh, we can do it, and I'm like, you're not gonna have time. I said, you were gone. He was gone this last weekend in Madison. I said, you still got to get your dad's turbos in. I go,
They're running out of time.
your dad's got to get his car tuned. I said, you're just out of time. I said, it's Memorial Day weekend coming up. I said, you're just out of time because it's the next weekend after that. I said, you're just plumb out of time. And I said, if something else breaks while you're taking that off or something else happens,
Oof, he's gonna be...
we are not going to have the time to fix it. I said, this is a time thing. And he started to look at me like, as I started saying, I'm like, you got to fix this. You still have to do this. You still have to do this. You have to do this. You were gone this weekend. I said, you got this going on.
It doesn't matter. There's not enough time.
I go, it's a time crunch right now where it's like,
not enough hours, kid.
You just, if anything else happens, I go, we might have to take a trip down to the cities to get the part if we can get the part and bring it to the shop because we'll get it faster than they will.
Right.
But at least they're there to put it in. And they have all the equipment. If they don't, we don't have to go borrow a tool. You don't get halfway through because they've had a couple times where they had to stop because they didn't have a tool. But one of the guys at Red River was like, they're working on their own cars, and Landon calls him up. He's like, oh, I'm at the shop. Come get the tool, borrowed it. Let him borrow it, bring it home, use it, and bring it back. I mean, that's the kind of rapport that they've had, right? And I think honestly that they're doing this job as a favor because I don't think that if it were anybody else they would want to do it because it's such an old car and it's going to be a lot of work, you know. I mean, maybe they would, but so
he has a tank.
We got the tank. My husband drove down and back on Wednesday or Thursday last week. And it was funny. I told him to take the truck, but he took my son's Q5.
Oh yeah.
And it was big. You know, I'm like, should have just taken the truck. Still had gasoline in it. It was like this whole thing. I was like, you're gonna drive all the way home with the windows down.
Oh God.
But we got it. And the other thing about taking it to the shop is Lana's like, well, I probably won't have time till like maybe Thursday to try to do it. And I said, okay, well, the appointment's Friday. So if you cancel that appointment or you don't make it, I said, they're not going to be able to fit you in again.
No, this is like
and this is literally like, you just need to take it. He's like, well, I just don't want you to spend all that money. I said, it was my idea to buy the tank. It was my idea to take the shop. If I didn't want to do it, I wouldn't do it. He goes, but I feel bad. I said, your dad made the mistake and you tried to fix the mistake and it got broken because you were trying to fix the mistake. I said, I feel bad. I want you to go to Power Cruise because you were so excited.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't want you spending the money. I said, here's the deal. Remember when I was talking to, when Felicia and I were doing the podcast and I got rear-ended? He goes, yeah. And I said, the insurance company paid out that check for us to fix the bumper. And I said, you can go buff it out at your buddy's shop. I just stashed the money in case you decide you want to fix the bumper. I said, so you didn't want to fix the bumper, so that's what's using to fix your gas tank. And he's like, oh, okay, I can live with that. I can live with that.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, it's I just want to do it.
Mhm.
So that way
I still
good.
felt so bad about that night, and we didn't even do anything wrong.
I didn't do anything wrong, but it is what it is. So whatever.
I thought he was gonna kill us.
That was a little weird.
Not literally, but you know what I mean. Because it's
Yeah.
his baby. So.
Yeah. So I am very thankful for Red River Motorworks and Lake Zero people down in the cities. They're very cool people. Very cool. And they could totally be not that way, but
so by next week he should have it fixed then.
I hope. It's supposed to go on Friday, so hopefully they don't run into any snafus, but that's what I also told my son. I said if they run into problems,
they had to fix my gas tank, but not because of the hole.
Well, my son thought maybe he could drive around and just leak a little bit. He actually put a TikTok video out how bad it was. It was so bad my garage door had to stay open for like a whole day because there was a lake of EA5 under his car. Like I couldn't open the garage door to the house because it smelled like corn. Because that's what EA5 smells like. But it was bad. He has a video. He's like, "Holy crap!" It's actually quite funny. And I was like, So well, you can't, and it's I'm like, we're not gonna have a fuel leak, because that's not cool. They typically don't let you out if you're leaking stuff, but they have to see it first. But in this case, as soon as you start it up, it literally spurts out like a faucet. It's broken, which whatever. So
man, and speaking of your house, you had some exciting fun down the street.
Oh yeah, there was a big house fire today.
I can't wait to see the look on the news about that.
It's crazy, because one of my
sorry about the person who got
two people, because it was a twin home. So one of my clients was dropping his child off, and he's like, "There's a fire down the street, or whatever." And they drove past all the flames or whatever, and he's like, "You guys should go walk and see." Well, then he calls me. He's like, "Don't go now. It's too busy." And I'm like, "Well, duh." Because I was like, "Yeah, maybe we'll do that." And I'm like, "Maybe we'll just go look in the backyard," because the smoke was you could just see it billowing in my backyard, And I was like, "Okay." And I'm just glad the wind was blowing the other way, because if it had been blowing at me,
I'm trying to picture how it's in your backyard, because your backyard is a field.
Okay, yeah, but my backyard's a field, but if you angle it this way, so like my patio door faces this way, but if you look this way,
that way,
no, if you go out the patio door,
okay,
because my yard is like a baseball diamond.
Okay, like right. This.
So if you're looking this way,
the patio door by the
there's
kitchen.
a house here and a house here, and then there's it goes this way,
okay,
like this. So it was a house like over here.
Oh shoot!
So
I see what you're saying. Okay,
and it's a total loss. You can't even, like, their whole part where their deck and stuff.
Did you drive by it?
Well, yeah, but you can see it on the pictures. Because I go that way a lot, so you just drive that way.
You saw the pictures too.
Yeah, the news had pictures. Actually, I can show you one quick if you want to see it. But it's.
I'm surprised it didn't come up in my feed.
Oh, that's the back of the house.
She's a goner.
Yep.
Wow, so, what was in there? I'm just glad that everyone.
Yeah, because it's a couple with a toddler, and I think they were all home. I know there was people home because there was ambulances there, but the call came in at 11, and there was still fire trucks there. I think at like 2:30.
I wonder if it was just like a cooking thing gone wrong.
I don't know. It started in the upper left side, like flames were coming out the roof. So
well, sometimes
I'm not sure.
Certain townhomes, like your main floor is the second floor.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm sure they'll tell us, because there was more news people. There was a bunch of news things heading that way when I was driving out. We
had a house fire down our street a couple summers ago. It started in the bedroom. So unfortunately, that family got was it's displaced or whatever they call it for a little bit.
Yeah, they had Red Cross and everything there, because my kids wanted to go walk, and I said, "Well, we'll do it after there's no smoke, because I'm not taking you anywhere near smoke. I'm not taking you anywhere near the trucks." I said, if we can see it down the street and you can see the fire trucks, great. Because they're like, "Oh, we don't see the fire trucks."
Yeah, that's all they care about.
So I walked them down, and then we went over and then came around the other way so that they could look straight down where the house was. And that's when they saw the ladder truck out and the firemen on the top. So that was pretty cool for them. Yeah. It's not something you see every day for them, but
they'll probably never see that again.
Hopefully not, but it was like, I mean, you could still, like, my hair smells a little bit like smoke because it was blowing really, really windy today, so that probably did not help.
Oh yeah, it was so bad.
Probably did not help, but
I don't know if it's true or not. They're supposed to get to 50 miles an hour, but I don't think.
well, I have no doubt. Like I was out in the front waiting for clients to come, and I was like, "Why is it so windy right now?" It was bad.
Yeah, we were.
I mean, it's always windy here.
We were in a wind advisory though this time.
Like
we're in a wind advisory like all the
the
time.
flat version of Denver.
I still just want to go to Chicago once just to see how windy it is because they say it's windier there than here.
Yeah, I suppose.
Which is hard to believe because it's so windy